Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's David Cherry. This is Business Therapy. I want to talk with you about why choosing your customers is one of the most important decisions that you can possibly make in your business. And I wanted to share about one of the early photographers that I hired at Death to Stock who exemplifies this story and this idea. His name is Patrick Chin. He's a phenomenal photographer, and he was a great photographer back then as well. And he was telling me about the different clients that he had worked with as a part of his portfolio. And it turned out that Patrick, his main customer, were luxury hotels and fine dining restaurants, Michelin-starred restaurants. And so Patrick was telling me about how he was traveling to different hotels on islands in Miami. He was going to New York City to shoot at very fancy hotels. And as he was telling me about this, I was thinking, wow, how amazing is it that if you're interested in beautiful boutique hotels, if you're interested in food, that you get to be a photographer who meets and participates in that culture. At the same time that I was talking with Patrick, there was another up-and-coming photographer that had reached out that I was speaking with, whose main client were startup D2C brands and mom-and-pop restaurants in his local area. Now, these brands had very low budget. These brands had very quick turnaround time needs, and they were always changing their mind, and they really didn't care that much about quality. And this person was constantly struggling and frustrated by the clients that he had. And so I just thought to myself, what a difference it makes between who you choose to be your customers. If you choose customers who are struggling financially, who don't really have the budget, you're always going to be bumping up against that barrier. If you choose customers that have a very thoughtful experience with their brand, especially as a photographer, you're going to have a different experience. Not only that, but you can align the interests that you have. If you're somebody who actually cares about a particular industry, say even music, you can find customers within that industry who are better customers for you, who are going to actually solve some of the problems and challenges that you might come to somebody with that you're struggling with. So if you're having pricing problems and you're having problems selling your services for what you think you can charge, it might be that the customer that you're choosing is really the biggest barrier. And when you choose your customers, you choose the destiny of your product. The good news, however, is that you can change customers. And it is true that you sometimes will start with a certain customer base and then move up market. That's very common in most companies. You'll start in more of a consumer orientation, and then you'll move into bigger and bigger businesses over time because larger businesses have more budget typically. However, it's important to have a North Star for where you want to focus. Now, for myself, I focus on CEO founders of $1 million plus companies, in part because of the leverage they have and because I want to impact their teams and their products and everyone that they work with. And it's also somebody that I align with. I am a founder myself, and so I align and know and understand these customers. But it's also a customer demographic where if I can help grow their business rapidly with them, alongside them, there's a lot of runway for growth. So I like to work with companies that are going from $1 to $25 million plus in revenue. That's a 25x in growth, and it supports my own growth with that demographic. So choose your customers wisely because they will determine the type of business that you're in, the type of experiences you have, the type of people that you meet. I'm friends with a lot of my clients. There's a weird blurred line between where friendship ends and the business relationship begins, but that's because I actually appreciate and enjoy the demographic that I work with. And I found myself to feel very lucky that I really enjoy spending time with my clients. So what clients would you enjoy spending time with? What clients would you align with most that would have the budget you need? And think from that perspective to find a unique part of your market that you can serve so that you're no longer struggling with some of those other downstream problems. If you have any questions or thoughts, I'd love to answer them below. Let me know what you think about